regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And that's not the start that he was looking for, as he's going to be met and dropped behind the line. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. They went with the run-pass option, and I don't know if the option really mattered there because the defense was ready.
So many times you put the defense at a disadvantage because you have those multiple options, but when they read their keys and play it correctly, sometimes...
Oh, it's intercepted. He was trying to get it to Ridley. Picked off by J.C. Horn. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line.
Well, it's football 101 because when you come in as the favorite team, you obviously don't want to hand any kind of advantage to an opponent ready for an upset. Now, you'll be lucky to only be down 3-zip the next time you get the ball back because you've just handed them a dose of confidence to start this game.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. And this defense feeling the encouragement. They stop him at the line of scrimmage on the first play of the afternoon. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Well, this defense for the Bengals, they were very strong last week in that win over Cleveland.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there. And they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line. So this is something we didn't see at all from this offense in the victory last week. That's a turnover. They didn't have any, but giving the ball away here in the opening quarter.
I love the surprise in your voice because it's exactly what you stated. Didn't see it last week, but it's a key to their win. And it'll be a key to this game as well, protecting the football. Didn't get it done there.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Back to Mixon on second down. And that one opened up for him well as he'll take this down to the 26-yard line. 10 yards there on the Bengal first. The Bengals sit 5-3 now on the year. And they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And they were able to tough it out last week, a close one-score game. And those are the kind of wins that pull you together as a team because everyone gains confidence and they feel like they can continue to get better.
A lot of work to get away and outside of the pocket, but no actual yardage there on the catch. It's second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained. So they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. This goes out wide for Mixon. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And they pick up the first down there with a gain of 4.
Well, they're currently the best in the NFL converting on 3rd down, so it was no surprise there that they picked that one up.
And they've done it in many different ways throughout the season, Charles. Picking it up, running it, throwing it, just effective on 3rd downs all year long. First down, here's Burrow. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. On second down, here's Mixon. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down. Burrow will throw. His pass caught at the 4. And the Bengals are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. From the 2, here's first and goal.
Here we go. Stop.
Mixon will take this one in. Touchdown, Cincinnati. A strong, determined run there, Charles, to get in for 6 points.
This is why it's such a team game, isn't it? And I know it sounds really generic and it sounds almost trite, but the blocks were made up front, offensive line, collective victory at the line of scrimmage and downfield. And how about the finish to the run all the way into the end zone?
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Taken in at the 3. And he returns this to the 22. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
A good gain on first has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It's a loss of 7. And now it's third down. On third down, Corral. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
There's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things, get back to what works.
And now the punt team couldn't get ready in time, and this is going to be a delay. So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. So on fourth down, here's Johnny Hecker to punt it away. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. It's taken to the 26. A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt. And the Bengals take over first and 10.
Here we go.
The drive will commence with a run by Mixon. And space tough to come by there as he'll get maybe a yard to the 37.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
You tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. And the catch made, it's Tyler Boyd. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. So on 4th down, on comes the left-footed punter, Kevin Huber, to punt it away. Christian McCaffrey deep for Carolina. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. And now the Bengal defense here calling a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. 1st and 10 for the Panthers as Corral gets them set at their own 20-yard line. And he'll start by handing this off to McCaffrey. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Sam Hubbard that time coming through defensively with reckless abandon.
I think sometimes when you're trying to get after the quarterback, maybe it's better to be lucky than great. Because I think on that one, he's just trying to get upfield and rush the passer. Instead, the tackle for the loss landed right in his lap.
Call it a gain of 6 on the play. That'll bring up 3rd and 8.
It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
A nickel look now for the Bengals as they try to stop him here on 3rd down. Corral now to throw. They're looking for Higgins, but it is intercepted. Picked off by Casey Hayward. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line.
I believe this is what you would call growing pains here, partner, because this defense obviously took the challenge facing the rookie, and they wanted to help indoctrinate him to the NFL. So now the big question is, can he answer that challenge and rebound with plenty of time remaining in this game?
And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. Now a timeout called for by the defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Burrow. This one caught by Ridley. And they're going to get this down inside the 15. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, Mixon. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. The drive stays intact with a pickup of 13.
So it's pretty simple, partner. You pick up a turnover, set you up in excellent field position. The last thing you want to do is go 3 and out in this spot.
Yeah, they would have had to settle for a field goal attempt, but now they keep those touchdown hopes alive. Burrow going to keep it on the sneak, and he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. Joe Burrow, his 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Bengals lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game. And oh, he clanks it off the right upright, and it's no good. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. Fielded just outside the goal line. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. 3 and 5 is where they sit on the year. A very uneven start is certainly not an ideal position to be in at the halfway point of the season. CD, do you see an avenue where they can still be a playoff team, or is that ship sailed?
Well, since you took me to the nautical side, I'm going to try and keep up here because, to me, this ship is about ready to pull out of port. These next couple of games are absolute must-wins for them. Now, if they can win a couple, get to 5 and 5, maybe they start believing in themselves. But a loss here, that would move them to 3 and 6. And if that's the case, well, that boat is going to head out to the harbor with them still on the dock.
They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down. Here we go with McCaffrey. And he gets it to the 32, good enough for a first down. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on fourth. Just enough push up front. He only needed about 6 inches. He didn't get a whole lot more than that.
No, but he made sure he got enough so they didn't have to worry about measuring it or making it even close. Ends up picking up a couple of yards in a situation, as you noted, where he only needed inches.
Switching it up, Corral will throw here. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hilton. And he will bring it back. It's a pick six for a Bengals TD. And the defense, they were all over that. As soon as that ball was in the air, it was dangerous. Not only was it intercepted, CD, but they return it for the touchdown.
Yeah, and he read that the entire way. He was reacting before other players had a chance to react themselves. Had the determination to say, this just won't be a pick. It's going to be 6 points as he takes it the other way to the end zone.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Trey Flowers picks it. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts. That's their second, so they'll have one remaining here in this second quarter. We'll be right back.
Here we go.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Here we go.
Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And some strong running there as he's down just shy of the 20 on the edge of the red zone. 47 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries. Good push up front and that run in between the tackles.
Let's play a leverage game here. Offensive line just got lower than the defensive front, and they were able to get their pads on them and move them backwards and create space for their running back to roam.
Back to Mixon on 1st down. And this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done. Down to the 15 from the 21.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Again, it's Mixon. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here, 3rd and 5.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Slant pass to Bullard. Now the Panthers going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout. And with that, they're now out of timeouts. There's still plenty of time remaining here in this second quarter. They'll give it to Mixon. Only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
Here we go.
Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. Another try for Mixon. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal.
Now,
they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. Here's Burrow. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Xavier Woods with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Charles, one thing that he referenced to us yesterday was his confidence fitting the ball into any window, but obviously that window was a little too tight and it was closing in a hurry.
And he was talking to us about having anticipation in making those types of throws. Down near the goal line.
And oh, that is going to be a safety. And the safety there, another mistake, and these mistakes just keep piling up.
How many more can they make? They put themselves in such a massive hole now. Going to be difficult to dig out from under.
Yeah, for sure they can't afford any more at this point. Now, after the safety, remember, they also need to give up the football, and here's the free kick. So they'll accept that penalty, and that'll, of course, move the football up the field. Burrow and the Bengals with a 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? And that'll be a free 5 yards for the offense.
Just like a tennis match, that's just an unforced error. Stay alert, don't jump early, and give them free yardage.
Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. He completes it to Boyd. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Here we go. Here we go.
Mixon with a 1st down carry. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Now it's Burrow. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Mixing up the middle. And he's not going to sniff the 1st down here. He stopped at the 25.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
So on 4th down, off goes Burrow. On comes Evan McPherson for the Bengal field goal. And that is no good. No good. Wide to the left. And that'll keep this a 22-point game.
And, partner, a lot of kickers in this spot like to aim at the right upright and just draw it back down the center. This one looked like it was aimed at the left upright and just kept bending away.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Give the sack to Lorenzo Carter. Now after the sack, you got Corral and the Panthers here staring at a tough play, 3rd and long. They'll drop to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll just get rid of it.
I tell you, Brandon, this defensive player with some confidence, haven't allowed a point yet, flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
So on now is Johnny Hecker to punt this one away. .35 yards that time on the punt. And the Bengals will take over here, 1st and 10.
Here we go.
The Bengals drive about to get going. Now, they entered play on a 2-game win streak, and then they've got the open date on their schedule next week. So this is a group that's really looking to hit the break on a high note.
And this will obviously be a tough game for them, but go ahead and play this out with me, partner. If they win here and make it 3 in a row, they get to heal up after that. You've got to think that's an ideal setup and a worthy goal to play for in this one.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. The safety blitz turns out to be a great call defensively as they sack him for a loss of 9.
Safety blitz, such a fun play call to witness when it works. And the deep man can get home for a sack. Great timing by him. Interception earlier in this contest. Now a sack. He's definitely campaigning for Player of the Week honors, isn't he, partner?
And now here's a deep shot that's complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. How about that? They weather the storm of a 3rd and 17 to pick up the first. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Throwing now, Burrow on 1st down. Dumps it off to Mixon. And he is not going to go anywhere. They're going to get to him behind the line, and that is going to get us to the 2-minute warning. 2nd and 16. Now it's Burrow. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
The Panthers turn to their nickel set here as they get ready for 3rd down. Again, it's Burrow. A very quick pass to Ridley. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. It's a pickup of 13, but they're still a bit short, and it'll be 4th down. McPherson's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So he missed his first attempt, remember, but this time he gets back on the bike and knocks it home.
Yeah, and sometimes that first one can really impact you moving forward. It can just stay with you too long and affect everything else you do during the game. In this case, though, able to shake it off. He's riding high again.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Play action here. Corral. He's going to let it go again. And my goodness, another interception. Daxton Hill picks it off. And the Bengals are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line. Well, there's two sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it. I think about it awfully hard, but also you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player. You have to know the situation.
J.C. Horn up to make the tackle.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. A draw play for Mixon. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. The Panthers going to get the football first, trailing here as well as we resume play in this second half. Fielded just outside the goal line. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history, and that's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late. Enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Back to throw, Corral. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
Here's Johnny Hecker now as he's on to punt for Carolina. This is taken at the 23. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And out will come the offense as they take over.
Here we go.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they got the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can derail you at this point. Attack, but make sure you take care of the ball.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down.
Here we go.
Burrow looking to pass. And he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches. Here's Kevin Huber now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. The call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23-yard line. 36 yards on the punt with no return. And it will be the Panthers' ball, 1st and 10. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
Corral to Moore there. Good for a Carolina first. Up the gut, McCaffrey. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. Well, that ground game just continues to struggle to really get any momentum in this ball game, Charles. And I mean, you're at the point here, 3rd quarter, down 4 scores, probably going to have to put it in the air.
Oh, no question about it. So that's your only chance, your only opportunity. But think of the pressure you just put on your offensive line, because if you're a pass rusher, you're not even thinking about them running the football. All you're doing is getting into that sprinter stance and going after the quarterback.
So a 3rd and 10, and defensively, a dime look, 6 DBs. Throwing here, Corral. The Bengal pressure gets him that time, down he goes. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down. Just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously, led to a very quick sack.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
As we check the next-gen stats, you'll see he had precious little time to do anything with the football there. Here's Johnny Hecker now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Fielded just inside the 20. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Bengals drive about to get going. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
The tackle by Matthew Ioannidis. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Once again, they run with Mixon. And he's got Rome. 80 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. Seemed like a couple sets of eyes were on the quarterback, so he decided, hey, I'm going to hand this off. Got a good gain out of it.
And you know you need good blocking up front in order to gain yardage, but every one of these RPOs
If you do it right and they look the same, whether it's handed off inside or the quarterback keeps it, that allows you to fool the defense so often. And in this case, fooled them with the inside run.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. Well, everybody was up there ready at the line of scrimmage, CD, but no snap, and the delay of game ensued.
Yeah, and I'm sure their head coach is asking the exact same thing. What's going on out there? Almost like they thought they had more time than actually was on the clock.
11.
And now they will throw it with Burrow. And that is caught. It's Ridley. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Give him 32 on the play.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
Inside handoff to Mixon. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. So that time they get the tight end on the hold.
Normally he's a pretty good run blocker, but this time he just didn't get his arms extended and let go quickly enough. The flag came out as a result.
11 mighty.
They're passing here, Joe Burrow. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by J.C. Horn. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there. Still in the third quarter, it would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
He's had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. And they run the option on 2nd down. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. Matt Corral keeping it himself from 7 yards out. And the Panthers are able to cut into this deficit here in the final minute of the third. Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT. And that'll cut the lead down to 18. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by J.C. Horn. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the third quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Throwing here, Corral. He's going to let this go deep for Jackson. And now here is another interception. Trey Flowers picks it. And the Bengals are going to take possession here at the 47-yard line. Well, all I can do up here and just shake my head. I mean, 6 interceptions. I cannot imagine what he's thinking between the ears right now.
Well, just think of how it is for his teammates, because after the first few, you know they're going over to him, hey, we'll get them next time. Now they're probably a little bit frustrated. And if you're a receiver, you're thinking to yourself, any ball that's in the air, you become receiver and defensive back. You've got to go compete for the ball so that you don't get another one picked off.
From just shy of midfield, Burrow. And my goodness, another interception. Xavier Woods with a pick. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his second interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me, because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Casey Hayward. And the Panthers will take over here at their own 12-yard line. Well, obviously, they never want to see penalties on that defense, but this one a little bit more significant there on the downfield pass play.
And coaches preach it all the time. You can't put yourself in that kind of position if you're the defender. You've got to stay in a spot far downfield.
And he is over the line for another rushing touchdown.
Is he a quarterback or is he a tailback?
Matt Corral with his second touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Panthers have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Gonzalez good on the extra point, and that'll make this now an 11-point deficit. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. Well, don't look now, but they've got a little bit of a battle on their hands again. Back to a 2-score game. The interception that led to a touchdown. You'd have to think they're a little more careful here if they do indeed try to throw the football.
Yeah, and I was a little surprised by the last throw. You know, that type of throw with this type of a game, I'm going to be very careful about it. Maybe the only throw you make is maybe a toss to your halfback or something like that. Otherwise, take care of the thing and finish this bad boy off.
A handoff, running left, Mixon. Bulldozes past him. Nothing can stop him. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 111 yards rushing for him now on 25 carries. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. He will find his man Chase complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Here's a give to Mixon. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Joe Mixon, his 7th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Bengals are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the 4th quarter. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And the lead is up to 18 now. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film. Corral lost it. The ball is out, and the Bengals grab it. And this is taken into the end zone. A fumble recovery and a Cincinnati touchdown. McPherson on for the point after. And they open the lead up now to 25 points. the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Corral. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. On 3rd down, Corral. And now here is another interception.
Well, it certainly felt like he was going to challenge this defense no matter what, and he stepped up and tried to throw it to the outermost edge of the zone coverage, and they were more than ready for it. The problem now is if they are limited in what they're doing throwing the football, they got to figure out how to move it without being able to throw it to the outside and throw it downfield.
Here we go, here we go.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They'll stay on the ground, Mixon again. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play, backwards a yard. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit, too.
Punting now is Huber as he sends it away. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Even though they were able to force the punt defensively, still a big hole to climb out of, especially at this late stage of the contest. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. And Corral will throw it. He's going to air one out for Anderson. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
We've seen that the deep ball has been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
Now a deep ball going to be caught here near midfield. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A big one there on 3rd down. They hit for 30 yards. The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. On 1st down, it's Corral. He's going to let this one go deep. And incomplete on the deep ball.
I like the thought process there. They connected on a big play, and sometimes you find the defense vulnerable. So they went for the bigger shot, went for it all on that one. This time, they were ready for it.
Off play action. Here's Corral. And he'll air this one deep for Anderson. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Back to throw, Corral.
Found his target, it's Anderson.
And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 down at the 33. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure.
Trey Hendrickson showing off his pass rush repertoire that time.
Oh, you can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now, and if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front 7. Defensive line has taken charge and controlled this game. Facing challenge of stopping this opposing offense, and they've done so with ease.
Escaping the pressure right. That'll be caught by Anderson.
And they will get him down, but not before he gets very good yardage there, as that will lead us right into the 2-minute warning. Corral with it on 1st down.
Flush to his right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Gotta imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38.
Multiple defenders get to him there, and that is the 6th time he's been sacked in this ball game. Fourth down, desperation time. Here's Corral.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Bengals will get the football back. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. The Bengals go down to a knee in the victory formation.
Get set.
The Bengals go down to a knee in the victory formation. So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And it's going to be their defense that gets the ink in the headlines tomorrow. And for good reason. They forced 5 turnovers in this game.
And while we were watching this game unfold, I kept thinking about when we did our training camp tour. And something that you noticed along the way. Just about every camp we visited, when the defense got together, everyone was doing ball drills. Defensive linemen, linebackers, secondary, because they understood how vital it was to take the football away. And they wanted every opportunity. When the ball was knocked free, they want all those guys to be familiar with touching the ball so they could pick up the fumble or get the interception. And we saw it pay off in this one here.
Yeah, 5 times. They'll remember this one. So for Cincinnati, the win will help them keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 6-3 on the year. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Carolina, their season is on life support somewhat now at 3-6.